How you doing guys, Koji here, traincomplete.com. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and personal trainer. In this video, we're gonna talk about tempo training. Who is this for, when to use it, how to use it, and is it for you or not? Now, I'm not gonna rob your time, so if you just wanna have quick answers, who is this for? Basically for everyone, sort of. When to use it? Every time you want to build muscle or want to correct your form. How to use it? You basically want to just slow down every movement in the gym. So squat, deadlift, bench press, shoulder press, lunges, anything you want doing in a normal tempo. You want to make sure it's slow and nice and controlled. Is it for you or not? I cannot tell, but probably anyone can benefit for it. So if you want to fix your form, you fix your technique, or want to build more muscle, tempo training is for you. Now, if you want to hear the long answer, we can dig in a little bit deeper into this rabbit hole. First of all, who is this for? So as I mentioned, it's almost always for everyone. So if you're a complete beginner and you're just learning new movements in the gym, tempo training is definitely for you. For example, I always use tempo training with my clients, with my new clients, and sometimes with my advanced clients as well, because it's a great way to teach. It's a great teaching tool as a coach for me and for people who want to learn a new movement. For example, deadlift or a squat is a really hard, complex movement. A lot of pieces in your body wants to move together to move the weight, move the bar up and down. Because basically you want to keep the bar in the same place, just moving up and down. You want to adjust your body to the bar, not the other way around. So it can be very complicated if you don't have a good body awareness. Even if someone have a body awareness, you need to, it's a new movement, so you want to make it sure you do it right. So I always use tempo training with my clients, with my new clients, and in terms of my more advanced clients who's with me for years, for example, then they still can benefit you. So if you're someone who wants to fix their form, or you have a weak point, as we call in your lift, like a sticking point. So let's say you bench press and you're really good on the way down, everything is fine, and suddenly just the bar doesn't move and you're just falling back. Someone needs to take off the weight. Or you feel like once you touch your chest, it just doesn't go off the chest. Or if you go down in a squat and you just cannot come up, or you can start come up, but it's a sticking point and it's just like a wall, like a ceiling, and you just cannot break it through, and you just fall back in the squat. Or a deadlift, you have a sticking point at your knee, for example, then pauses in your squat, deadlift and bench could be very, very beneficial for you. So for example, you go down, obviously you have to reduce the weight because you're relearning a technique. So let's say you go on a bench press, you go down very slow, you go up and you pause on that spot where you usually have a problem with. So you hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, even 6 seconds sometimes, and then you carry on with the pushing, but you're not relaxing, right? Even if it's on your chest, so if you pause it on your chest, you don't want to just collapse and relax and then restart the movement. Or you go down in a squat, you don't want to collapse your knees and then restart the movement. You want to hold it very tight and engage the muscle and keep it engaged and get used to that weak spot, the weak point of your lift, to make it stronger. Or if you want to build muscle, for example, on a deadlift, if you are a power lifter or an Olympic lifter, then those kind of the situation where you won't really see benefits, especially if you are a strong individual, you've been doing this for years, then you have different ways to go through strength plateaus. So if you just want to lift more, there are different, better ways, probably better programming technique to improve your lift than tempo training. But in some situations, you can still have benefits with slowing down the motion. Unless you are a powerlifter, so you don't care about the eccentric weight on a deadlift, for example, so the lowering phase, or an Olympic weightlifter, you just think about power, then you might not really see benefits in this, unless you want to work on your sticking point. Other than that, if you want to build muscle, then, and this is the when, so when to use it. So even if you're a powerlifter or an Olympic weightlifter or anyone who wants to get better performing athlete, then in that case, and if you want to build muscle, tempo training it's really, really good way to break down more muscle tissue and get build more, essentially. Because think about it, like if you do 1 repetition on bench press, it takes about 1 or 2 seconds. If you're slowing down 4 seconds on the way down, hold for 2 seconds, 2 seconds on the way up, that's, what did I say, like 4, 5, 6, like 8, 10 seconds just to finish 1 repetition. You do this for 5, they already at 50 seconds. So the time on the tension on that muscle, it's grow exponentially. So instead of doing 10 seconds on the lift, you're gonna spend 1 minute on the lift. And always is very tiring, but it's a great way to build muscle. So if you have issues with your lift, or you feel like you need to build more muscle to improve your lift, and time under tension, slowing down the movement, it could be very beneficial for you. So, or someone where you don't care about the weight you lift because you have to lower the weight to do tempo training, then tempo training is for you. So if you're purely looking for building muscle, slow it down, make sure it's very slow and control, take as long as you can on 1 set, then you're gonna feel nice and sore the next day. And that's the other thing, you wanna be careful when you're using tempo training. If you're an athlete and you have games, for example, then you wanna make sure you don't get sore, because this training can make you really, really sore. So just be careful. If you have gains, maybe keep 1 or 2 repetitions in a tank and don't go to failure. And how to use tempo training, very, very simple. Just you want to slow it down. So if you see a number in a program, so example my program, if you go to my website traincomplete.com and you go to the courses, shameless plug, you can download one of my or many of my programs, and then you might see a tempo, and then there is a number there. I only use 3 numbers, sometimes there is 4, I'm gonna explain in a second. But if you see 3 numbers on the tempo, let's say 4, 2, 1, that means you're gonna lower the weight in 4 seconds, take a 2-second pause at the bottom, and then go up in 1 second. So for example, deadlift, you're gonna go down in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the bottom for 1, 2, and then 1 second on the way up. I usually like to use the word Mississippi, which you can see more in America, or whatever appropriate in your country. Use that word like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, because you just say 1, 2, 3, 4, it's still just 1 second. You just say it very quickly. So you want to make sure you say 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, which can be surprisingly long if you have heavy weights in your hand or on your back. So basically, if you see 3 numbers, 4, 2, 1, there's 4 seconds on the way down, 2 second pause, 1 second on the way up. Sometimes you'll see 4 numbers, let's say 4, 0, 1, 0. That means 4 seconds on the way down, 0 on the bottom, 1 second on the way up, 0 on the top. So we just do 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see 1 at the end, that means you can take a reset, the 1 second break on the top, and then do it again. And lastly, is it for you or not? It's something you have to decide. If you are at early stage in your career, I would consider it. This could be very beneficial. If you are more an advanced athlete and you don't really care about building muscle, but just power and strength, you have other ways to improve your lift. Otherwise, tempo training can be very, very beneficial. And how many times, like, you might want to use it like just sparingly in your yearly training, so let's say 3 times a year, because again, it can make you very sore and can be very taxing on your nervous system. So if you're an athlete who have games, so like, for example, if I have an athlete and we are off season, I would use tempo training with them, because that's great time to build muscle, fix their issues, imbalances, build more muscle. But when they are in season, I try to avoid, because a slow eccentric can make them really, really sore. I might use like an isometric, like body weight type of exercises, but not with weights. I just want to make sure they can be healthy and keep their strength and power. Hey, I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any question, let me know. I'll catch you in the next one. Train complete. Train complete.